The state of Indiana is cracking down on the amount of phosphorus in its rivers and streams. That means mandating changes to wastewater facilities across the state. News 10 Bureau Chief Gary Bryan tells us how Washington, Indiana is weighing their options to meet the mandate.
At the beginning of the year, the Indiana Department of Environmental Management mandated that the city of Washington clean up the phosphorus in its wastewater. Now the city only has until July of next year to get the project going. Rain fell hard Thursday morning in Washington, Indiana. That rain made its way into the sewers. In the small town, that stormwater also mixes with the community's wastewater.
Phosphorus itself is natural occurring in most of the products we use in the household and outdoors in the yard, because we are a CSO community here, so anything you use inside or outside can affect what we have to treat in our treatment plant.
Washington's wastewater plant puts out 4 to 5 parts per million of phosphorus. The Indiana Department of Environmental Management is now mandating that number reduced to 1 part per million.
We're going to have to tear one of our buildings down to make a new storage area to store the chemicals so that we'll have enough to run us a couple weeks at a time without having to have a truck come every day.
The project calls for phosphorus to be removed from the wastewater chemically, costing the city $2 million. They are now hoping grant funding will cut that number down.
It's not a drop in the bucket. We are working with the Southern Indiana Development Commission to apply for a grant from the Office of Community and Rural Affairs.
If awarded, the grant would pick up $700,000 of the price tag.
The quick and short of it's an unfunded, mandated thing that, again, as with any community, money's tight, and this grant would be a blessing for us to have that happen, because it will give us leaps and bounds ahead of the game to help afford this to happen.
If the city receives grant funding, they would still need to put up $1.3 million in funding. In Washington, Gary Bryan, News 10.